Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. Let me check some settings and make sure, because we had a lot of technical issues last night. Oh, good. Everything seems to be rocking and rolling right along. I lowered my voice down a little bit because I was louder than fuck. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Dinner and a Game. Tonight we are doing our City of Myths game called Ethos and Mythos. Now, this game is based off of a game setting called City of Myths, in which all of our players are just regular people, and one day they wake up and they discover that they are containing somehow a mythical entity. In some cases, out and outright gods or demigods, and in other cases, creatures of mythic legend. And these creatures don't like taking a back seat. But at the same time, they still got to make rent, yo. So you're trying to struggle through their everyday lives while they're trying to deal with being awakened to an entire supernatural community. Whoo! I always swear. Foxrider, I always swear. There's very rarely a time I don't swear, and that's usually when I'm asleep, but my wife says I talk in my sleep, so I'm assuming I'm swearing there too. It's just not coherent. So, but I want to thank all my players for coming out tonight, and I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that every single person on Dinner and a Game is here voluntarily, but we all are content creators in our own rights. Let's take some of this came in. Thank you very much for the sub, sir, Mr. Chris. But everyone here is a creator in some right, shape, or form, and so let's start out with Jack, who is tonight is playing Reuben, who is basically the embodiment of Apollo, god of creation and the sun. Jack, what are you up to? Where can we find you? And what are you up to right now on the massive interwebs?
That's a great question, Ray. Hi, my name is Jack. I'm a voiceover artist. I play Dungeons & Dragons and Dungeon Master Remnants of Carboy on the UST show, which Chris and MK are also a part of. You can find updates on what I'm doing for my voiceover career either on my Twitter at Jack_Tarman, or you can check out my website, jacktarman.com, and there will be blog posts and updates there.
Excellent. Thank you very much, sir. And remember, the most basic thing you can do for any creator is just go and give them a follow. We have posted up Jack's links into Twitter. It's his Twitter account. Go give him a follow there. Watch out for his content. I'm sure that's where you make most of your announcements and stuff like that for things you're doing. And speaking of people who make announcements, Milagros, I understand you have a big announcement because your entire environment changed.
Yes, I am back at school. I go to Emerson College in Boston. This is my senior year. I'm so close to getting my damn piece of paper. So I'm going to be focusing more on school so that I can, finish well and then actually get to focus on freelancing and writing and content creation. That being said, I will still be making stuff on TikTok, working on video essays for YouTube, and streaming on Twitch when I can. My schedule is just going to be kind of chaotic because I am an employee of my school and, also want to go around the city and, do stuff now that stuff can be done to a degree.
Isn't
but yes, I will
like
always
working for a credit card company that you happen to have a credit card with.
kind of.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to derail you.
No, it's okay. But I will be here every Wednesday and Thursday for Dinner at a Game. I whole ass told my job at school I will not be available these nights of the week.
By the way, thank you very much for the follow, Mecha Butler.
Ooh, hi.
And so I understand that you are still going to try and do some creating as well on your own channels?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I will still be doing writing streams, especially since the fall semester includes NaNoWriMo. I am participating this year still. I've won every single year that I've been in college, and I want to get a 10-year winning streak. So I think this will be year 7. So I will definitely be doing streams then. I will also try to participate. Yes, Fox Rider, I will. I will post that in the Dinner and a Game Discord.
Yep.
Because I am gonna go through like my planning process, which I like to stream and share, because that changes a little bit every year. But I'm also gonna try and do like the 24-hour stream. Some of the streams that Nano does at least once in the month because I'm nuts, and love being extra every single year. So yes, I will be doing writing streams and stuff on Twitch.
Excellent. And speaking of people who are nuts, we have 2 of the other members of UST, Unexpectedly Serious Turn.
I'm a DM. I'm not allowed to be sane.
Yeah, well, that's given. You can find them. Hang on one second. I'm gonna kill a dog. Sorry, but you can find the UST on Twitch here. First off, let's go with the lovely and talented and leader of the pack over on UST, Michaela, who runs their Tuesday broadcasted show, which is called what again?
It's called Unexpectedly Serious Turn. Cause,
No, I thought you named it, you had your world name too.
We do. We exist in the world of Anna. So that is technically the name, although it comes from the word unnamed. So that's just the way that goes. It was a filler name, and I was like, this sounds better than anything I could come up with. So it's Anna now. Gotcha.
And Michaela, I don't know if you're going to do this or not, but I still only have your Twitter linked in this, but I know you do have a TikTok.
I do have a TikTok
where you actually do some performances. I finally found you on TikTok because I kept on searching for Michaela, and I kept on searching for Max and Tonks and all those other stuff, and I could not find you. And so finally, I just found you by following by going through Chris's and seeing your comments on his. So.
Chris only just recently found me as well, so it's not like he's known.
That's true.
I'm just terribly sneaky and horrible with. But yes, I do have a TikTok. It is Tonksy444. That's pretty much my name in most places, honestly. Don't go looking for it. It's a terrible idea. But on TikTok, I do post some singing videos. Predominantly, sometimes I mess around on there with like filters and stuff because I am a random nerd.
And she does do duets too. So if anyone else has any singing videos, I did spend some time listening to Michaela sing because she has an amazing voice. But that was fun today. And if you want to follow her, I do have her Twitter up here, and she does post on Twitter. And so maybe she'll start a link tree eventually in the future and get all of her socials up there for you guys.
Probably someday.
And finally, the founder of the feast over at UST, we have Chris. Chris, how are you doing, sir? How is UST going? I understand you've got at least one new show, thanks to Jack.
Indeed. In fact, we just had our debut episode this week, and it went very well. I threatened to shoot a halfling in the foot. It was great. Why do I always end up with the guys that are trigger happy? I think that says something about me.
I was about to say.
There's
maybe that's a you thing.
There's this thing in writing where all of your characters have just a little bit of you, so whatever unites them.
That's usually
probably comes from the source material.
That's you like concentrated.
Yep.
Right.
Or it's a piece of you concentrated in most cases.
Yeah.
And sometimes not the best piece.
Like sometimes like you get like a certain character string and you look at the characters and you go, I might need therapy.
That's not just all your characters?
That's not just everyone's characters.
Right? But no, we just had our premiere episode of Remnants of Carpoy this last Monday. It went very well. I think more than a few people were like, oh god, oh god, oh god. So that was pretty cool. And then I've been doing a lot of solo streaming on my own as well. But I've been doing that mostly so that I can also tell people like, hey, check me out on this show tonight, and so I do that in the morning.
Yep.
So, in fact, I think Ray and I played Scavengers together a couple weeks ago.
Yep. I want to get that going again. I love Scavengers. I just haven't had any time for it.
I feel ya.
Yeah, work's gone crazy. So. Yay! And by the way, Jack, Runes of Kopoi, I wanted to congratulate you. You did a wonderful job with your characterization for all the NPCs. You switched back and forth smoothly, which is always difficult. So, congrats. That was an excellent showing, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Great.
No problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to get down to why we're all here, and that is for Ethos and Mythos. Now, when we last left our intrepid band, they had derailed a major conflict between two people whose inner gods had gotten out of control. Amy, a friend of the group, who was the embodiment of Bacchus, and another young lady who I don't even think you ever got her name, who was the embodiment of the Greek goddess of depression, whose name I can never pronounce. But Oasis. Never mind. Oasis is good enough. Because it's got an SH sound in there somewhere. But anyway.
One more reason for that god to be depressed.
Oh my god.
Oresis or something. Oresis. There you go. But anyway, and for some reason, Oresis and Bacchus were in a very dramatic confrontation. They
Because
never
they're Greek
really.
gods and they're always dramatic.
Yes. They never really broke it down, but they got to see Bacchus at his worst, and ended up pretty much with almost a war zone in front of them as they pursued Bacchus, who had kidnapped Reuben and taken and not really gained control of Reuben, but befuddled Apollo and Reuben by bringing him into the Bacchanalian, which is the uncontrolled revelry that Bacchus can induce in anyone.
Undead Disney World lit on fire.
Yes, and they went to Zombielands, which is this local area's big attraction. It is a huge resort dedicated to horror movies and the horror genre. And they went in there and they went up to the ruined mansion ride, and Bacchus was holding court there as Eurysis and her followers came up, and there was basically a huge showdown, and everything went crazy. A huge brawl broke out, and Chris ended up making the call, the very rough call, and he basically shot the woman who embodies Eurysis. And when she was injured, she kind of lost a little bit of control on her followers, and that's when something really bad happened, and Bacchus decided it was time to take the upper hand and launched his followers into a full frenzy and threw him on Eurysis' followers, who were no longer as heavily controlled, and it was pretty much a wholesale slaughter. But he didn't hesitate much.
I didn't. No.
He didn't. It was a tough call, but yeah. It was a tough call, but it's only like 2 pounds of pressure on that trigger finger, so.
Yeah, and I emptied that clip.
Yeah, but yeah, so, and what ended up happening was the fight broke out. Everyone kind of went for cover. When the dust cleared, the cops were finally arriving. They managed to tase Bacchus, or Amy, I should say, and bring Bacchus down. And as they were getting everyone and bringing everyone out and trying to round everyone up, and the police finally arrived and were starting to try and make sense of the horrific scene, they basically got everyone in handcuffs. They took everyone away. There was a very scary moment when Amy was just giving up and got desperate, but Chris actually managed to stop her with a tase, and they got her into handcuffs. They got everyone was arrested except for Sonata, who was
a coward.
Well, no, wasn't a coward. Was in the Jeep, but with all the problems she had containing Rainey, and the fact that Rainey was already up on edge and almost taking control, Sonata decided to be more cautious and stay in the Jeep because she was almost fully turned into a harpy by that point. I mean, she had...
Siren.
Huh? What? Siren. Siren. Yeah, she's almost fully gone over to Siren. She had the owl's beak going. She had the eagle's beak going. I mean, she had the feathers popping. And so she was trying to stay in the car. And during that entire time that she was in the car, everything else happened. But when they came out to try and, to be taken away, they did not see the Jeep there at all. Which means that Sonata at least had enough control to drive away.
Probably.
And so they basically were taken down. They were kept in questioning because this is a huge event. People were hurt, injured, dead everywhere. And they basically got control of everything, and they went and the police got control of everything. They arrested everybody, brought them in for questioning. They were held for almost the 48 hours as they were relentlessly questioned, but they kind of just told almost the truth, which was close enough and weird enough to where they not as my spirit animal. Oh well, it'll get better. She stole a Jeep too. But anyway, so they were finally released. In the meantime, Sonata had taken some other actions, including something we're going to get to right now, because I do believe you had gone after you left you went home and spent probably a better part of some time relaxing and getting yourself back composed, and probably negotiating with Redney for a little bit.
I mean, relaxing is a strong term. It was probably a little bit more hyperventilating, but yeah, let's go with relaxing. That sounds better.
How about drinking wine and taking Valium?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe not the Valium thing, but definitely the wine thing.
So, but yeah, you basically had to get yourself back under control. Radney was out of control. Well, actually, I should say Radney was mostly in control. And
yeah, that's the problem.
Now, I think this is one of the first times that you've had that extensive experience. Because you've given Radney control before to do things that you weren't willing to do. But she's always surrendered control back. This is the first time you've really been in a situation where she was like, no, I'm taking control. This is not for you. This is for me. I'm taking control. And you had to fight her so hard to maintain control. Yeah. So you probably have some issues you wanted to maybe go over with her. So let's go ahead and let's jump onto that real fast before we jump back to everyone getting out of jail. All right. So you basically made it home. You changed. You've gotten yourself composed enough. You probably had to shower and change, and because you are also you've seen some action this evening, and you got things. You got stuff under your nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Or who. But, yeah, so you basically came, get yourself composed. You saw everyone getting taken away. You managed to, you brought you were far enough away with the Jeep that you could see the cop cars pulling up. Everyone seemed to be getting taken away. No one seemed to be really badly hurt. Well, let me put it this way: none of your friends got taken away in an ambulance.
Yeah, big step in the right direction.
Yeah, they all were dragged off in police cars. And so you went home.
Last step in the right direction.
So as you are getting yourself composed. And you're sitting there and you're kind of like just trying to go over things in your head, because there's one thing you've noticed when Radney takes control is that sometimes when she's in charge, you don't have the best recollection of what's going on, especially when you give her complete control, because you don't want to see what's going on. Those times that you don't remember much of anything. But this time it was much less like you were giving up something, and more like something she was trying to wrest it from you. And so she says, Radney is kind of You can feel her in the background. She's not seething anymore. And if you didn't know better, you would think that she was waiting.
Fair enough. We're out of the situation. Are we feeling any better?
I don't think that feeling better or feeling worse is necessarily relevant at this point. I think we need to talk about survival. And we need to talk about what is and is not under my purview and what should and should not be under yours.
Mm-hmm.
That was a situation that, and I love you to death, but you were not going to be able to talk your way out of that. You weren't going to be able to sing your way out of that.
No. No, I don't think I was.
She says, I could have gotten us out of that.
With the least amount of casualties?
That's not a concern at that point. A concern is survival. We were in a throng of madness, and you were worried about appearances and control.
I was also worried about people's lives. There were
Thank you very
innocent
much for the
people
follow,
in that
Vlar.
crowd.
It is understandable that you would be worried about someone's life, but shouldn't it be your life that you're most worried about? Our life? Because remember, I'm only here as long as you are.
Trust me, I have plenty of worry for my own life. Lots of it, actually. But sometimes when I'm around the others, I get a little... I don't know that brave is the right word, but certainly more comfortable. I'll be more careful with myself and with you, but you can't take over like that.
You weren't... I didn't think you were making the best decisions for us. And I did not like the situation you were putting us in. And I'm sorry, but I think that gives me at least some say in what we do from there. I have the option of being reborn again, and you don't. Ouch. So I need you to understand that I enjoy this relationship as it sits. I want this to be successful. I know you have appearances that you want to maintain, and I know sometimes the things that I have to do put those in jeopardy. But at least you should enjoy some of the possible protections I can offer. I mean, I understand that we've done things to make sure that you're safe in the past. But at the same time, you weren't trying to be safe for you. You were trying to help someone else. And you were putting us in quite a bit of jeopardy to do it. I just wanted to get us out of there.
I understand, but leaving people completely in the lurch when it's partially our responsibility isn't necessarily an option either. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't really want to get caught or seen there, and I do appreciate being taken out of the situation to an extent, but
it's your responsibility because Seth says it so. He asked you to do him a favor.
Seth has done a lot for us.
I've done more. Simply put.
Yes, well, you're a little bit more biased than Seth is now, aren't you?
Yes, and you need someone for you who's biased. And she says, or do I have to remind you of what situations you can get into, like your old manager? We don't want to see that happen ever again. And if you keep on trying to repress everything about me, you do understand there is a potential to sever our link. There is a potential to go back to who you were before. Do you want to go back to who you were before?
No. Never.
Well, I'm just saying, sometimes you have to listen to me. Or sometimes you have to let me make the call. I want you to be comfortable with this because I don't see us getting better unless you're comfortable with this. But at the same time, I need us to be safe, and you are wonderful when it comes to rational people who will listen to you and take that time to listen to you, because that gives you a time to use our voice.
Mm-hmm.
But when no one is going to listen, that's when we need to use my beak and my claws. And I cannot bring those forth unless you let me.
I don't like the thought of hurting too many people, especially in situations like that. But I will listen more readily to you, I promise. At least as much as I can.
I understand. I get it. It's not the safest situation to be in.
Mm.
But you have to understand that I am not going to put you in more jeopardy. I'm going to remove you from jeopardy.
I know you will. I trust you. It's complicated circumstances, I suppose.
I don't think there's anything in life that's not a complicated circumstance.
Particularly mine.
Ours.
That's true. We certainly have the strangest one, don't we?
Yes, I didn't think I would exactly be hanging out with Apollo again.
Ugh. Yeah. I love Ruben. I don't know how I feel about the guy inside of his head yet.
He's Apollo. He is the worst combination of logic and frat boy.
Oof. I think I've met a few of those.
Yes.
They had really disgusting couches.
They always smell like Axe body spray.
Yeah, they do.
She says, the others, Alejandra's wonderful and giving and caring. Her other can be very nurturing, but there is a darkness there that's and Kevin, well, that's,
Yes, I saw the fangs.
yes.
Kevin's boy tried to eat you.
Trying to whole ass eat you.
Yeah, we're not on speaking terms right now.
But anyway, I just wanted to make sure that we're okay.
Of course.
Are you sure?
Yes. We're going to have to figure out how to live with each other in rather cramped spaces. But we're okay.
Michaela, do you have your character up in Roll20?
I can pull her sheet up in 2 seconds.
Okay. I want you to go to your Logos card for your defining event. And put a crack in Awakening.
Okay. That just sounds terrible.
Cracks are basically whenever you go against something that is a part of your Logos' personality.
Yeah.
You know, you're no longer acting like a grieving widow. You're surrendering a lot of your independence to be part of this group now, and you're developing ties to this group. And you really haven't talked to the detective much except to ask him for favors.
Yeah. It's true.
So you kind of like it's like you're stepping away from that, and you're spending more and more time actually talking to Radney.
Yeah.
You're more reaching
such a warped relationship.
So you just have a crack in that.
Yeah.
And if you get 3 cracks in anything, then you lose that item of your Logos. And if it's a Logos item you lose, you gain a Mythos tag.
Yes, I become more magic-y.
Yes, and if you ever lose your last Mythos tag, you go back to being a sleeper. And if you ever lose your last Logos tag, the thing inside you is now no longer inside you. It just is you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, so for you spend the day recovering. The next day, are you going to go in and talk to Seth, or you going to wait until everyone else gets out?
Well, do I have a shift?
Technically, you don't. You don't have. I mean, you have nights you perform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
this happened basically. You don't perform on Mondays or Tuesdays because it's just really slow, and you're not going to bother to come in there. And because you have all your other commitments, every single one of your performances is always with a caveat that he might have to have someone cover for you, or or Ruben might just be doing piano solo up there. And there might not be anyone singing for him, because you might have to do a press junket. You might have to do some you could be gone for a month when you go on tour, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So so you kind of have a strong working relationship with Seth on that regard, because when you perform, because you don't perform under you perform under another pseudonym. You don't use your stage name for your stage presence. You use another one, and that brings you. But you do bring in, and your stage name actually has a decent following.
Satine is loved.
Yep, and so you basically have that going for you, as well as having the whole. I'm a pop star on one hand, but I moonlight as a jazz singer. The
best of both worlds.
You could always just call and say that you didn't. If you had to perform, you could just call in and say, I can't. I have a last minute engagement I have to do as, so and so. So, but anyway.
Yeah. So honestly, most of the day she'd probably be spending. She'd want to check in with her cop friend, because she did just kind of pull him into a big butt situation. So she'd want to check in with him, make sure he's okay and not in trouble or anything. And also see if she can't needle out some information on where her friends are, if he has the capacity. If she can, sweet talk her way into that information.
So are you actually inviting him over, or are you going to do all this via phone?
Yeah, I'll invite him over. I'll make sure that there is a dinner provided, whether I cook it or purchase it, and then pretend that I cooked it.
Got
Uber Eats is a thing.
Who can say?
Uber Eats and really quick replating.
Yeah.
So he comes over. he comes over and he looks ragged, and he kind of walks in and he's like, he says, he kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek as he comes in. And he's like, it has been a rough couple of days. It's like, I'm glad you called though.
I can only imagine. You look like you've been through.
Yeah, your friends are probably getting out in a little bit, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're okay.
There wasn't a lot I could do. They were going to get grilled no matter what. We still don't have a clear idea of what's going on. There's a bunch of theories going around that there may have been some kind of new batch of E that came out that was laced or something similar. But then we have all the mental patients that were running around as well, and it doesn't make any sense. There's people who were there who had no priors, who had no history of mental illness.
You look like you need a drink.
Yes, I do. He says,
I will get him very nice, probably bourbon?
Sure.
Because, why not? That sounds about right.
He takes a glass from you and you hand it to him, and he takes a long pull, and then he kind of puts it down, and he's like, he says, so they'll be okay. Well, except for your friend Amy. She has been evaluated, and I don't think that she is going to be released anytime soon. Turns out she has no real family, and the only person who could possibly come and get her out is her husband, and he's still missing.
Yeah, she mentioned not having a lot of people to talk to.
Yeah, so, and they've got video of her. They got video of her doing a lot of weird stuff, and it is, she is claiming to not have any memory of 3/4 of it, and it's just not adding up. And a lot of what she's saying is so erratic that, she's in a psych hold. And she's getting evaluated, and as soon as the evaluation comes back, we'll know what's going to happen further. But I've seen these type of situations go down before, and without she's not going to go to state. Okay, she has her husband's insurance she's going to be well taken care of, but she's not coming out anytime soon.
I'll have to send her a present once she gets settled.
I'll see if I can find out for you where they take her, but it's probably going to be Crestview. That's the biggest private facility that takes cases like this.
What would I do without you?
He's like, not know when your friends were in prison?
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate thing.
Well, it's more, these people get in a lot of trouble. Are you sure that this is the type of people you want to... I mean, I know friends are friends and all, but... I mean, you got an image. By the way, sorry. He does know who you are, really, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. He knows.
Because he was he was one of the ones who investigated your pre-manager. Yeah. Okay. So he says. So you. I mean, you've got. I mean, I know that is a stage persona. He's like, I know that's not who you are. He says, but I know that you do a lot of work to keep up that image, and if people found out that if people found out that you sang over at the Elysium, that he said that would be enough to probably shake some of your fans.
Oh yeah, and it would fill up the Elysium a lot.
Well, he says Seth might like that, but the whole point of that is that you have a career based on that persona. And I don't know if you're ready to transition over to something else or something. I don't know if this is some kind of big media play to get ready for some transition in your career. I don't pretend to know these things. He says, I'm a cop. I'm not a PR person. But if it is, just let me know and I'll just back off. I don't want to.
They get into trouble, but they're very good people. And they just make me feel a little safer sometimes, that's all.
Yeah. He's like, I know that Kevin's probably a great guy because his dad frickin' just talks shit about him all the time, but his dad is an asshole. So.
He's terrifying as well.
Yeah. Oh, did he really threaten to shoot Kevin?
Yes!
That's...
Right in front of us! I just dropped everything, ran out, I was gone. No, I had a hoodie on.
So, no, I mean, the word got around.
He is terrifying.
He has been a cop for, almost longer than I've been alive. And apparently, their family has all kinds of issues,
Well, families.
Yeah, and that was apparently something happened with you guys last night that really went over the top, and his dad has been frickin' seething for days.
Well, I think Kevin is on a case. That's what he said he had to talk to his dad about. Actually on the way.
If he gets out and his dad hasn't found him or seen him, would you please tell him to don't go find his dad for a while, because he really might shoot him.
I think Kevin's gonna lay low after he gets out of prison.
Well, he's not in prison. He's just being held for questioning. I mean, they were technically arrested, but
there were bars and handcuffs.
Well, yes, because there were people murdered all over the place.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying prison is bars and handcuffs in my mind.
Gotcha. Okay. And
would you like dinner?
Kevin makes a note to switch the barrel out of his Glock.
So he says, "Yes, I would love some." And you guys basically spend I'm assuming you're spending an evening trying to charm and romance him and get him to relax again, and pretty much trying to reestablish trust, because you have asked him for a lot of favors. So
yes. So it's very much the repayment of those favors, essentially.
Yeah, I get it. And so that rest of that evening will pass with him then. So the next day, you guys, after having basically been put through the ringer, questioned repeatedly, and in the usual methodology, you've been asked the same questions 5,000 times, just trying to get you to slip up even once or give them a different answer even once. But pretty much, just telling something that's even, halfway the truth is insane enough to where when you repeat it often enough, they start making out rationales, and they seem to bounce them off you guys. Did you see anyone taking drugs? Did you take any drugs? Was there anything, could someone have slipped you something? And they seem to be bouncing off these rationales off of you. Kevin, you recognize it very quickly as they're trying to come up with an excuse or reason, some way they can explain what happened away. So that is kind of the, you see them, they're rationalizing this. And it happens a lot in these instances where things like this explode this far out of control. The mists, which is what helps conceal the supernatural elements of the world from people who are not awakened, will kind of dominate the mindsets of people who aren't awakened and force them to rationalize things. So they are basically doing everything they can to rationalize all these insane behaviors and all these insane events into something they can deal with and they can see as more rational a line of how things could have happened. Alejandra, I think that you really haven't been involved in anything this spectacular before.
No.
So this is your first time really...
Yeah.
This is your first time really seeing the mists in action. And you can just see that they're questioning, and their questions don't really add up, because they keep on adding in things that didn't happen or substituting in possibilities that really don't make any sense, but they all soon begin to make those as statements rather than questions. And before you know it, they're writing up statements stating that, these people were on drugs. It was a bad batch of E. Some people got it. Somehow, some people in the hospital must have been, there was something similar to the one going around in the hospital. Actually,
water supply.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of rationalizing and explaining, but sooner or later, they basically come up with their own premise for what happened. And you, Ruben...
Anytime they try to, push something like that, where they're trying to rationalize it off Kevin, Kevin will just kind of, lead with it, I don't know, is that what happened?
Yeah. And
trying to help them get there,
Yeah, and as usual with cops, they're police officers, they're just you tell us. Because they want you to make a statement is what they want.
No.
But, so eventually, like I said, you guys are released. Yeah, you weren't even really allowed to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, by the time you get out, you guys are exhausted. As you come out of the precinct, Alejandra, there's a beat-up old station wagon out front that you recognize.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
And your tia is there. And there's 3 little kids in the back seat with their noses pressed up to the glass.
Just all smushed together.
Yeah, and she's leaned up against the car, and her arms across her chest, and she's sitting there looking at you, and she says, "Your mother sent me to get you." She had to work a double.
I know. I didn't plan on this, okay?
Lucinda had to call into work twice because there was no one to watch these.
To be fair, nobody really plans on this.
Who is the white man?
Kevin, he's a friend of mine.
Not today, he's not. He's going to get the fuck out of our business.
Okay, baby. I'm sorry.
So get in the car.
Yes,
She stomps around to the other side.
Oh, I'm so fucked.
Okay, so Kevin, you and Ruben are left standing on the sidewalk as the station wagon starts up, and there's a whine of a belt as it starts up, and you can tell she floors it, but it just goes. and so you guys are sitting out front.
Yeah, well, there's nowhere else to sit.
Oh, I know. You have to sit up front.
Yeah.
And in the back seat, one of your nephews, he's one of the older ones, he's like, Alejandra's in trouble.
Quiet.
Ruben?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Sonata still has my car.
And is this the same night as my date?
Yeah. So it's just sitting in front of your apartment.
God.
Yeah.
I got money for the bus.
You guys, your phones are given back to you, but they're all dead.
Yeah.
They have no charge.
I'm gonna give Ruben back his phone that got left at the club when he got god napped.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm busy, sorry.
I'm gonna take it, kind of shove it in my pocket.
Bus?
How far away is the night bar from the precinct? It's a pretty long walk.
It's a pretty long walk. It's about 10 to 15 blocks. So it's like almost 2 miles.
Great.
And my office is in the opposite direction, isn't it?
No. I thought your office was by the club.
I think it's like a couple blocks away. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what he was asking. That was what you're asking, right, Jack?
I was just asking how far away the nightclub is.
Yeah.
From the precinct.
And your office is by the club, Chris. Kevin's office is by the club, Chris. So it would take you about an hour to an hour and a half to walk to your back to your apartment.
I'll pay for the bus, Ruben.
Are you sure?
That's like what, 3
And remember, Ruben actually gets paid for performing and everything like that. So
yeah. It's mostly my fault that they were asking some of those questions, you know. So, I mean, the paying for the bus is the least I could do.
There's a lot of blame to go around for this, Kevin.
Well,
It's not just you.
I mean, that's true, but you didn't plug the girl.
No, I did hold her as she died, though.
Well, yeah, I was trying to keep the others off of us.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good thing you did.
Let's go
No,
on
wait.
the bus. Let's just fly one down and let's just get out of here. I'm
Sounds
tired.
good. I'm gonna when we get to the stop for my office, though, I've got a couple things I've got to do. Don't forget to do the contract, though, and that'll get us out of a lot of this trouble.
I'm gonna take out my book and start sketching out as we're riding on the bus. Just like start doing the document so I can pull something out of my book later. But I'm not gonna pull it out yet.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, the bus ride is nowhere near as long, so it's only like 20 minutes to get to the stop that's near your office, Kevin. So you unload there. It's not even 5 more minutes, like 2 more stops, and you're at the bus stop, which is basically kind of almost right in front of the nightclub, Ruben. So Kevin? What are you doing at your office?
I tell Kevin as he's departing from the bus, I'll talk to Seth. I'll get that handled. Don't worry about that.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, just tell him we did the best we could under the circumstances. Bacchus went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
So, Kevin will go into his office and immediately start swapping out the barrel of his handgun. And while he's doing that, he's going to start talking with his friend in the back of his head.
Okay. So you're going to your office, you begin the process, field dressing it and getting ready to switch out the barrel and everything like that. And you reach out in your mind and you feel him stir, and he kind of says, so the blade.
Yeah.
I know where it is, roughly. It's nowhere near here. But we can probably get there if we can find a way to, get to Central Europe.
Well, it's a good thing I've got a passport.
It's like, well, with the way you find trouble, you might want to find a way to go that doesn't leave a trace back to you.
Yeah, well, I've got you for that, don't I?
I mean, some things I can do, assuredly. He says, but some things are best left to more conventional means, especially with the way cameras work and everything nowadays.
It's a fair point. We never end up in a situation like we just ended up in. Whatever. Getting your sword will help with that, I assume.
Getting this blade will help deal with situations like that. He says, dealing with throngs of innocents who have been mind controlled by gods. He's like, I don't think there's a clean way to get out of that.
I didn't either. That's why I pulled the trigger.
That's what I figured. I didn't interfere. He's like, but you understand that she may not have been completely innocent, but she was fairly innocent.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling. I'm just glad Ruben was able to spend her last moments with her. Nobody deserves to die alone like that.
He's like, I'm more talking about when it comes to actual justice.
Yeah.
The only thing that she was in the wrong for is that those others around her were completely innocent and were being forced to do things well beyond their will.
Well, she let go.
After she was hurt.
Yeah. She let go, and That was her main sin, but other than that, I don't think she probably was a good kid. You'd know better than me, though.
I think that getting the blade would help us in more ways than just that. It says, I reach as far back as I can to bring forward as much as I can. It says, but I'm still limited. It says, my connection to you is why I'm still here. It says, but the source of my power, the source of my strength is still beyond your form.
What, you like in a coffin or something?
No, I'm in you. It says, but I'm not you.
Right.
I'm something else. It says, and it's going to continue to be an issue. I don't know how else to put it.
No. We'll figure out a way around that, I'm sure. We're pretty resourceful, you and me.
I think that, yes, we're resourceful. But we don't have the same ideologies.
Well, we're also not technically the same person either.
Not in any way, shape, or form. But that's probably a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
It says, in the meantime, you have good friends.
Yeah, I do.
It is, some of them have things inside of them that are not as good as they are.
Well, to be fair, I think between the two of us, you're probably better off than I am.
Thanks.
Is it weird that I'm probably the worst of the two?
You mean between us?
Yeah.
It's like, you... I don't know what stories you might have heard. It says, but the things that you've seen and the things that you've done are... I mean, I know they were hard for you. It's like, but in the end... I know everything that I've done.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's get this barrel out of here, and we'll work on that Central Europe situation.
It says, in the meantime, I'm just gonna rest for a bit.
Yeah.
We've done a lot, and I'm feeling a little spent.
Fair enough. Let me know if you need anything.
Same.
You got it.
And you feel him kind of blank out. It's a similar feeling. You felt it before.
Okay.
It's like almost like he's there, but it's like he shuts down.
Yeah, like he goes to sleep or something.
Yeah, almost. Oh, I think we're having...
I have
You're
a
on
plan.
trip.
Oh, you have a plane?
I have a plan.
Oh no.
All right, so
About to
we
say.
just
I
lost
organized a tour.
the stream for a moment, but we are back. It was a minor disconnection. No, it was not you this time, Fox Rider. It was we momentarily lost connection, but we're back now. All right.
Woo.
So I'm gonna shut down Discord just in case. have a lot of memory draw going on right now.
Feel that. We were just saying Euro trip.
Gotcha. All right, so Ruben, let's jump over to you. So you get off the bus, and are you going to go in through the club entrance, or are you going to go in the back stairs up to your apartment?
I'm going to go to my apartment first.
Okay. So the first thing you notice when you go up to the back stairs is that there's police tape kind of across the door.
Oh shit, that's right, there was a body.
And there's a plainclothes. There's a plainclothes
police.
police officer
Oh, I still owe the
who's
rap.
kind of sitting at the bottom of the, standing at the bottom of the stairs as you walk up. And as you're walking up, he says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Yeah, I live here. Is it okay if I can just get by and go up to my room?
He said, "Can I see some ID?"
Yeah, sure. And I'll pull up my ID and show it to him.
He kind of looks at. He kind of takes ID. He literally holds it up by your face. He looks at it, compares it to your face, looks at it, hands it back to it, and he's like, "All right, sir." He's like, "Go ahead and go on up." He's like, "You live the third floor is the second floor is where the loft apartments are, and the third floor there's actually some larger apartments that he rents out. So you live on the second floor." He says, "Just don't go up to the third floor."
Sure thing, officer. And I'm going to head up to my apartment room. What do I see in the hallway and on the way to my apartment room? Is it still as disheveled as before?
Yes, absolutely. And there is, there's like all the doors of the apartments are closed on this level. There's like 6 one-bedroom apartments on this level, and then the next level up there's 4 larger apartments, like 2-bedroom apartments up on the floor above you. There on this level, you knew or know most of the people who reside here. They're either people who work for the bar or people who are just getting on their feet. There's a lot of transitory people that come in and out. So a lot of the residents on this level change about every some of the residents on this level change about every 6 months. And a lot of those people are newly awakened. So you meet a lot of the newer members of the supernatural community before a lot of other people do, thanks to Seth. But right now there is, all the doors are closed. There is police tape across the stairway. Oh shoot, we're having more connection issues. Let me do something real fast. Shut that down. I'm going to do something real quick. This is why we're getting rid of VC. It's the only thing I can think of that's causing this. Because it is... Yeah, because I'm running at almost 900 megabits a second. So it's not a connection issue on my end. This is something that's happening with my PC. VC has always had trouble with the OBS software, so we're going to be switching out from that. But anyway, sorry folks, technical issues. We apologize. Features as always. But yes, we're. So he says. So yeah, your floor is kind of like a ghost town. There's normally noises like people cooking, TVs on, stuff like that, but there's no sounds at all.
Cool. I'm gonna head into my apartment room and immediately just start cleaning up. Like every stray drawing, every bit of stale pizza that I've left in the room goes in trash bags.
Oh, the poor rat.
The drawings all go in I get like a disheveled binder and start just like kind of neatly putting them in, and I just start cleaning everything as much as I can.
So I'm assuming you're gonna spend the rest of the time doing that.
Yeah, and then once I'm done, I'll have a cigarette by my window and just kind of contemplate the last few days' events. And then once I feel settled, I'll go down and talk to Seth.
Yeah, well, with what's been happening, by the time you really feel yourself settling and you feel all those when your mind becomes more clear and you have less flashes of things that have happened and less, the overload is died down enough. It's like coming up on like early evening. So, you spent a good deal of time just sitting there. Like, you spent half a pack of cigarettes just sitting there smoking and thinking. So
Yeah, those days.
yeah. And so, but you finally, your hands are finally stopped shaking, and I'm assuming that when you were cleaning the room, it wasn't just like neat and orderly cleaning, except for putting away your drawings. It was like you were in a frenzy cleaning it. You were like, it was more like just exerting physically.
Yeah, and just trying to find some sort of order in my life after the chaos had just happened, and just trying to do something rational to just kind of put everything at ease. I kind of put all my laundry into a pile by the door to get ready to do a load of that, and all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah, vacuum the carpet. But by the time I'm done, I mean, my apartment's cleaner than it's ever been.
Right.
And there's still probably some stains here and there that I'll have to do some more heavy duty stuff to get through, but it's neat, which is different for Ruben.
Absolutely. And it's definitely, what does Ruben feel when he looks back at the room once it's been tidied up? Because it almost doesn't look like his room anymore.
He feels like it's a start to something new. And he has, as he's thinking to himself as he's smoking, he's thinking about his new plans of how to move forward and what he wants to do instead of what Seth wants him to do or what the group wants to do. And he decides later that evening that he's going to start doing something that he hasn't done in a long time, which is tagging graffiti. So he gets all of his spray cans together and his skateboard, and that's sort of his plan for later that evening to go do some graffiti.
Got it. So by the time you're ready to, by the time you've like come up with that plan and you're feeling settled and you feel like you've got some focus, you got some direction, you got some clarity. That's when you feel like you're ready to go down and try and talk to Seth. I'm assuming that's what you meant by going downstairs, of course.
Yes,
right.
Go downstairs and talk to Seth, yeah.
So you go downstairs and you walk into the bar area. It's light enough to where the bar is actually open. So you kind of come down into the bar. The opening act is up for the night, and it's a little duo, and they're still in the process of tuning. So that probably means it's around 8 o'clock ish. The early evening during the summertime, and Seth's behind the bar. And he's talking to one of the cocktail waitresses, and he sees you, and he says, "All right, well, let's go make sure that those other stations are stocked up." He's like, and just have a good night. And he kind of walks over to where you're coming in at, to that end of the bar, and he kind of looks at you, and he says, "So things got really out of hand."
Yeah, they did. And I'm going to pull out another cigarette and start smoking again. And he's going to speak and say, I did the best I could.
No.
And I tried to make things go as smoothly as possible. And there was just nothing I could do, Seth. There was nothing. I was out of my league.
He says, "Look, kid, it was not your fault." He says, "It was my fault." He says, "I didn't understand where Amy was and how bad off she was. I should have taken the hint when I found her surrounded in dead bodies."
Yeah, right.
He says, "But she was desperate. And she was alone. And too many of us start out that way." He says, And I probably handed you guys way more than you needed at that point. He says, don't worry about it. He says, I think this is going to have some fallout enough for our everyday lives. Don't think I'm going to come out and start trying to persecute you for what happened.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh, and Fox Rider, no. We're doing a giveaway at the break, which is coming up in about another 15 minutes. And I'm going to be giving out a key. We're going to be kind of voting on a keyword before we go to break. And then we're going to announce the keyword. I'm going to put the keyword up in the chat. And we're going to put it on the announcements on the chat for the contest. And all you have to do is make sure you type the keyword in chat when we announce it, and then you'll be entered into the contest. And we are going to be giving away a starter set for City of Mists at the end of the show. And by the way, none of my cast is paid, so they're all eligible too.
Ooh.
Wow, awesome.
Ooh.
That's
So
exciting.
yes. So you don't have to be present, but you do have to be present to put in the keyword. And like I said, we'll be making that announcement when we go on break in about 15 minutes. So, but
I appreciate that, man.
He says, the rest of you, the rest of your friends, he says, if you see them first, just let them know that I'm sorry. And that it's high time that I stopped trying to use the help I gave them as a bargaining point to get them into trouble.
I think they'll appreciate that, Seth. And while we're on the topic of me and my friends and what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be laying low. I don't want to get into any more trouble with the law than I already am. And I decided I'm going to be working on some personal projects that I've been kind of shunning away. I want to still perform for the bar and any sort of odd jobs you have for me. You still got me. I just want to focus on me for a while. My priorities. There's not much I could have done for Amy or the other one. So I don't know how much I can do for them. It's high time I look after me and my own just for a little bit.
He says, don't worry about it. He says, you'll keep on performing at the bar, and that will cover, we'll cover rent out of that. He says, anything else? He's like, you've earned your stay here. He says, you've done more than enough to help me. He says, and you help out around the bar, and that's more than enough.
Thank you, Seth, for everything that you do and continue to do and have done.
He says, and if I ask you guys for anything in the future, we'll discuss it if I need help then. We'll discuss what your involvement's going to be, what their involvement's going to be. It's going to be no more of these blind assignments.
Sounds good to me. All right, I'll leave you to managing the bar. If you need a performer, I'll be in my room for a little while, but I'm gonna be out later tonight. Gonna be working on some projects.
All right. He says, be careful. It's like the city's kind of on edge still, so don't do anything that would get you in a bad way.
I'll keep that in mind.
Like, all right. He says, where is everybody else anyway?
I believe Kevin's in his offices. He's working on some stuff. He had a rough go of it. We ran into another Awakened out there. Remind me of the name, you guys.
Euresis.
We ran into another Awakened Euresis, goddess of suffering, and we couldn't defuse the situation. It had gotten too far out of hand, and Kevin had a shooter.
I heard already.
The Awakened didn't make it.
I heard that. Hella let me know. I should say hell let me know. And he says there's still something going on out there. He says there has been a lot of upheaval in the supernatural world. He says the Awakened are feeling the strain. Things are going on that we can't explain right now. And I don't know. I think I want to talk to all of you whenever you get a chance. Not to give you another job or anything like that, but to try and talk about what you guys have seen and compare notes from what I've heard.
That sounds like a good idea. I'll round up the others as soon as everybody's got their states in order.
I'm saying, all right. He's like, well, have a good night.
You too, man. Stay safe. I'm going to leave the bar, head back up to my room. My phone's been charging.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to text in our group chat and just say, hey, Seth wants to talk and compare notes. I know you all are handling your own stuff. Just hit me back when you're free. And then I'll get ready to start tagging.
All right. So
My response is just, where in the hell is my damn Jeep?
Y'all don't even know I'm alive. I would just like to point out.
I know no one's even reached out to Sonata.
Yeah, no one has any idea if I'm alive or not.
Alejandro.
I'm grounded. So I don't even get to
You
use my
have-
phone right
Ali's
now.
You have full
grounded.
permission. We also
No,
don't know
I-
if you're alive or not. You could
So-
be buried in the backyard. No one knows that chocolate to the head is a
this
very
close to being buried alive by my mom, like whole ass.
So
A chocolate to the head is a very dangerous weapon. I understand.
I'll call Sonata after that, too.
Thank you.
okay.
I'll give her a ring.
As I can't do shit right now.
I don't
So-
actually know if I can answer the phone or not.
What does that mean?
1 second.
Well, because isn't it the same? Like, if the cup is still over, I can't.
Mind you, this is
Huh.
later in the evening.
Yeah, I
Yeah, no, we.
Yeah.
wouldn't
no,
have invited him
exactly.
over until the evening.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonata's on a date.
I'll leave you a voicemail. How's that?
Well,
That
also, wait, I will say, because Seth knows about who's died, I feel like if Sonata fucking died, like, he
We
would
know.
bring
Yeah,
it
he'd
up.
probably know. Yeah, that's
Like, he wouldn't just let us find out, or it's just like, oh, and by the way, like, no, I feel like he would tell us.
By the way, when they find his Jeep, don't look in the back.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yes, that's exactly the way I want Sonata's body to be found if she ever dies.
No.
In Kevin's
Yes.
Jeep, yeah, Kevin appreciates that.
Oh,
No,
I
just
hate
like
that.
you know,
Kevin's
the
just-
whole statement is just don't look there.
All right,
So
so
I'll leave you a voicemail real quick if we can do that before break. I'll just
All
be like, hey Sonata, it's Ruben. You've been MIA for a little bit. Just want to check to make sure you're okay, and invite you to do something fun later this evening. I know you're probably got your own plan, so no worries if you don't want to come. But meet me in the alley of the nightclub. We'll say around 9 o'clock, 9:30. Just want to do something fun. Let's shake things up. Give me a ring back when you can. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
all right.
Meanwhile, Barry White is playing in Sonata's apartment.
You know, sometimes
Fantastic taste in music.
fantastic
Period.
taste in music. Questionable taste in men, fantastic taste in music. Da da da.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
All right, so before we go to break, what do we think should be the key word from tonight? I like to try and take things out of, the text or not text, but the what we've been talking about or anything like that. The title for tonight's episode was Concequences.
Oh.
I think just
Grounded.
to make it not as easy,
Mm-hmm.
Very
what
white.
about fault or blame? Because that's
Fault
been
or
brought
blame
up a lot.
works.
Blame. All
That's
right.
been brought up a
Let
lot.
me get it.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Fault or blame?
I like fault.
Yeah, fault works.
All
Plus,
right.
earthquake, fault.
A
Give me 1 second. Ooh, I can't type.
That's also true. None of us can spell consequences. You're correct. Bob's right.
So
My
the
dyslexic
keyword
butt
is
certainly can't.
blame. Ladies and
CONSEQUENCES.
someone has to show off every single frickin' time.
okay,
Every
Jack, nothing
time.
necessary.
Someone has to show off. All right, so the keyword is blame. Oop. What the heck's going on?
It's a hell of a game.
The Blame Game. Rated R starts Friday.
Oh, there it goes. I was trying to figure out what the heck happened with my commands because it wouldn't do the command anymore. So there's this. So everyone who... Whoops, come on. It was letting me edit it and then it stopped.
You want to be a butt face.
It is. It does want to be a butt face. So type the word blame into chat, and you will be entered in the contest. You do not have to be present to win, but we are going to do the giveaway at the end of the show. The giveaway for tonight is a box set, the starters box set for City of Mists, which is produced by Son of Oak Studios, and it provides you with everything you need to start playing the game, as well as some pre-made characters and your first actual scenario in the City of Mist. So type the word blame in chat and you will be entered to win. We will make the drawing at the end of the show. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a 10-minute break. It is 8:24. We will be back at 8:34. Keep on typing blame. Only type it once because you will only be entered once. Typing it more than once may get you excluded from winning because we use a bot to do the drawing. And it does not like seeing more than one word from one person. So, we will talk to you guys later, and we will see you in 10 minutes.
See you then.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the added patience, ladies and gentlemen. We greatly appreciate it. We are back. We are back. Now remember, type the keyword blame into chat if you have not yet, so you can go ahead and get entered to win, because we are going to be giving away a copy of the starter box set for City of Mists. And that is going to be given away at the end of the show, but you do not have to be present. As long as you type in the keyword, we'll have your Twitch handle, and I will contact you directly from Dinner and a Game's Twitch, and we will let you know what you need to do to get information you need to get us, so we can get that out to you. Cool. All right. Oh, there it is. Good. Got it. I'm going to take Nightbot off the list of eligibles.
Yeah, Nightbot would be a bad one to just win.
There you go.
Ooh. And Nightbot wins. Wait.
What?
There we go. And Nightbot wins the contest. All right, but we will be giving that away at the end of the show. And in the meantime, Alejandra.
Oh, fuck.
Alejandra.
You dead.
After a very tense ride, your tia pulls up in front of the bodega, because you guys live above the bodega.
Yeah.
There's apartments up there. And honestly, your family is pretty well off. They run the bodega. They own the building that the bodega's in. They basically rent out most of the apartments in the building to family. So This entire building is like your family or family friends and everyone you know and everyone you're growing up with. So you come home, you come into the bodega. You come into the you don't go into the bodega. You go around to the side entrance where it goes up to the apartments. But as you walk by the front of the bodega, you can see your mom's working behind the counter, and she's talking to somebody, and she kind of looks out the window as you're going by, and just she's smiling nice to customer. She looks at them and she's like, and she just holds that stare on you as you walk by.
Yeah.
And your aunt's like, walking up the stairs behind you, and the kids ran up ahead of you, and you can hear when the kids run up the stairs, you can hear them. She's back! She's back! She's probably gonna get killed.
Shut up!
And as you come up the stairs, there's that long hallway where all the apartment doors are, and half the doors on this floor are open.
Yeah.
And there's some family member standing in the open doorway, just watching you come up the stairs. And some of them are kind of chuckling and laughing and go, "I remember those days." And others of them
never that.
And others of them are looking at you going, "Such a shame. She was such a good kid."
Is going to be legendary.
You've generated the chisme for the next year and a half.
Oh, exactly. I am never living this down.
So your aunt's walking up with you, and your apartment is is one of the ones on the first floor above the bodega. So you're walking back to the apartment you share with your family, and as you're walking back there, your aunt's kind of following you, and then you hear the murp, murp, and her aunt pulls the person and says, "Oh shit." She says, "I'm gonna go downstairs." And your aunt turns around and leaves. And so you go to the apartment. How many people live in your apartment? Is it just you and your mom, or you?
No, I got a bunch of siblings.
Yeah. So you come into the apartment, and the the older siblings are sitting there watching TV, while the younger siblings have every pot and pan out and are banging on them, and they're running around the house screaming.
Yeah.
The littlest one is like walking around and his diaper is hanging down almost to his knees because no one's changed him in like 6 hours. And so, the house is just in shambles and chaos.
Yeah.
You want to eat him so bad.
Listen, some of them are looking pretty tasty right about now.
Your nearest oldest sibling is... who is your nearest oldest sibling, Alejandra?
Paola. I'm 21. She's 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the hope was that she would be responsible, but because she has this weird, like, we're too close in age, and so she has this, like, beef with me where she thinks, like, oh, I'm the golden child, so she's the one that acts out all the time, but she gets to get away with it because she's not the oldest. So she's definitely not helping with the fact that everything's devolved into chaos. You would hope that she would help, but she's just kind of being another one of the kids because she can't leave, but she's also not going to be responsible about being stuck home.
Gotcha. So, first thing you see is she's sitting on the couch.
First.
She's sitting on the couch, and you see that she has that one of those the kitty hanging on the tree limb with the you hang in there.
Oh my god!
Things on about it. She's gotten one of those shirts off of that rack downstairs from the bodega, and she's done her best to cut it and style it the same way Sonata did when she got her picture taken coming out of the bodega.
Oh my god!
And she's kind of sitting on the couch, and she said, "Did you get arrested with her? Is she in jail too?"
No, she's
like,
not in jail.
Because if you tell me that, I can go to the papers and I can sell that for a lot of money.
She's not in jail. I don't know where she is.
Okay, but like if I went and said that to them anyway, and they wanted to like
No.
But what I'm saying is, if I said that, but what I'm saying is, if I already may have said that, I may have, what? That's just not why. That's not. No, never mind. I didn't say it. He's like, hey, can you change Tito's diaper? Because I don't want to.
Sure.
So, but like if I did say it.
No, don't.
Okay, I didn't say it.
So I'm gonna pick up the little baby and take him into my mom's room.
So as you take him in your mom's room, you start changing him. You hear the door open. What was your sister's name again? I'm sorry. Paola. As you hear the door open, and you hear your mom's voice go, Paola, take the kids outside.
Oh.
And she's like, okay. And don't even argue. You just hear her go,
like,
okay.
Damn it.
And you hear like a bunch of feet just like out the door. And so you come out of the bedroom with the baby.
Yeah.
And as you come in the living room, your mom's in the kitchen.
Always.
And she is like, there was a pot on the stove, and she's stirring the pot, and she says, I told her it was gonna burn if she didn't watch it. And she says, her mom, but her mom's got her back to you. She's sitting at the stove, and she's like stirring the pot, and she like goes over to the faucet, and she draws a cup of water. She adds the water to the pot. She stirs it a few more times. She puts the lid on it, and she says, so is this how it's going to be? Is this, is this what it is now? You get some famous friends, and you get a big head, and you start staying out all night, and you forget the rest of us, huh? You're not going to work at the bodega no more, huh?
No.
You're going to go party with your new friends?
I wasn't partying.
It's like, you ended up at the police station. I was young once.
It was not that. It was the furthest thing from any kind of fun. It was horrific.
Okay. What's going on? You cannot tell me nothing's going on. And suddenly you're hanging out with this singer, and things start getting crazy. Are you on drugs?
No. It's...
She's like, look, I know that everyone is hard on you. They always ask you to do things. She's like, and I know that sucks. And that's like the worst word you've ever heard your mom say.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like...
And she says, She says, but people, when people count on you, you know you're important to them, not just for what you do for them, but because you're willing to do it for them. That's familia.
I know, it was just supposed to be my one night off. I didn't intend to be stuck with the cops for 2 days, or you... What did you hear about what happened over there?
She says, I was trying to call the precinct. She says, I had to pick up the shifts at the bodega. She says, today, she says, and, you know, you're an adult. We weren't going to go around filing missing persons reports after you didn't come home one night. You're a grown girl. You can do what you want. It's your night off. Like you said, it's your one night off. She says, but when you didn't show up for work, I don't know. And you didn't call us.
I couldn't. I wanted to.
We didn't know.
I know.
We didn't know until we saw it on the news.
What did the news say?
The news said that there was some kind of riot or something at the amusement park.
Close enough.
She says, they didn't release any names, but I saw that, you know, you were missing and all this shit had happened. She actually says shit. And she says, I don't know what you're gotten into. And she looks and she says, Alejandra, I'm scared.
I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make friends that were just mine.
Maybe it's better like this, huh? Maybe you don't work at the bodega so much. Maybe you start letting your little sister start taking care of some of those other kids. And she kind of walks up to you, and she's short.
Yeah.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
And she kind of reaches up a hand. She puts her hand on the side of your face, and she says, I didn't want this for you. She says, I wanted you to go to school. He says, you just kind of, after your father, you just kind of stepped into it, and you started being there.
I know. Someone had to.
But the problem is, you started being there for everybody. Don't know how you remember your father, but he wasn't there for everybody.
No.
You gotta start standing up for you. Even if it's to me.
I don't want to.
If you live your life for everyone else, what do you have left?
Never really thought about it.
If you give away everything, what do you have left?
You get to eat the kids.
No. No.
With chocolate syrup. But she says, just look, we'll work on the shifts. Your sister will start watching kids. She says, you need some space.
Space would be nice.
She says, don't take this the wrong way. I still need your help.
Of course.
And she says, but maybe it's time you started doing things for you.
Yeah. I think it might be about time.
This is... Right. This is... She kind of looks around. She says, "Now I'm going to start slapping the shit out of you so that everyone else can hear that I did the right thing."
Okay.
So she basically starts she starts yelling and cussing in Spanish and running around the house, and she like throws things and stuff like that. She like throws you a little of a pot. She's like, "Chuck it." So after a few minutes of that, she goes storming back out of the house and stomping back downstairs, and all the kids come flying back in the room, and like one of the middle kids comes running in first. He's like, "Is she dead? Is she dead? I want to see the body."
This is how you treat me after I raised you.
He comes screeching to a stop. He's like, "She's not dead."
After I
No, if you want me dead, you're gonna have to do it yourself.
He's like, "I don't want you dead. I just wanted to see a dead body. Nothing happens around here."
You don't want to see a dead body. Trust me.
How would you know? I might want to see a dead body.
It's gross.
Where did you see a dead body?
That is none of your business.
You saw a dead body?
I'm the oldest. I don't have to tell you anything.
Except for when you see a dead body.
It was one time, but anyway.
And now he's following you around the house. Go, "But when? What did it look like? Was it all gross? Was there stuff coming out?"
Gross. When people die, they poop themselves.
He's like, he's like, he kind of looks at the little one. He's like, "He poops himself all the time. Is he dead?"
No. Oh my God. That's not how death works.
He's like, "Well, no one tells me nothing."
Because you're like this.
He's like, "They had me tested. I'm fine."
I know that kid.
What happened?
Oh, yet another reason to eat one of the kids.
Oh, yes.
All right, so the rest of Alejandra's night is spent trying to stop one of them from asking her questions.
Yeah.
Taking care of the rest of the kids while your mom shuts down the bodega for the night, and pretty much having
Working on your marinara recipe.
pretty much having
my
every other aunt, uncle, or older cousin come by, and where were you? What happened? What's going on?
And there's always that one cousin that doesn't care about any of the danger, or the cops just like, Sonata, why didn't you fucking tell me?
Yeah, and there's always that one weird cousin that's like, "Have you seen her naked?"
Yes.
That's it. We're going to Wii Spot.
Have you seen her naked? No. Why not? Why not?
Dude, you got a phone. You can get pictures.
Don't go touch each other like that. You should have a sleepover with her.
So
Come to my house. We'll make truffle popcorn.
truffle popcorn. So, but anyway, yeah. So that's the rest of your evening. And basically the next day, the next day is definitely different. You don't know what happened the night before, but no one comes to bug you. Like to watch their kids or anything like that. You're still watching your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But your 19-year-old sister, her phone starts just like buzzing. And she's like, okay. And she gets up and walks out. And she comes back like 2 hours later, and she's like, and she's got like a food stain on her shirt, and her hair's like half pulled out of her hairpin, and she's like, "I freaking hate Tia Lima's kids. God damn." She's like, "She's just going to the store. My ass gone 2 hours."
Now you know what it's like to be me.
She comes up and kind of sits down. She's like, "Whatever, I'm not you." And then her phone buzzes. And she's like, "What the hell, man?" And she's like, Tio, who still wants something now? Oh, wait. All right. Well, he's going to be paying me. And she goes walking out. She walks out. She comes back like 3 hours later. She looks even worse. She's like, he wet me and had me help him load wood in his truck.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? I don't work for him.
Now you do.
And she's sitting there, her phone goes off again. She's like, why do I have to work a shift at the bodega?
Todo para la
She's like,
Well, because
and what does in lieu of rent mean?
Oh, I mean that means you don't have to pay anything. That means you.
It's like, I don't pay anything for rent. I just live here.
Yeah, but
Not anymore.
now you gotta help.
She's like, that's it. I'm getting a boyfriend.
Oh.
And she gets up and walks out.
Both of you assume I would let a boy get near you.
All right.
Just friends.
Just a special friend.
And just a special friend.
At some point in the middle of the day, she just gets like her phone buzzes and Ali's phone buzzes and it just says spa.
Yes.
Yes. It's happening. We're having the spa day.
All right. So, real quick, since this would be the same night that Ruben would have called you. No, it would have been the night before. Ruben would have sent you that message and left you that voicemail the night before. Do you show up to Ruben's later, or are you busy the entire evening? Because he said like 9 or 10 o'clock, right, Ruben?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 9 or 10 o'clock. I would probably text him and say, I'm a little busy tonight. I will try to make it. If I'm not there, I owe Kevin his truck very early in the morning. And, yes, she says truck because she has no idea what a Jeep is. She doesn't know what that is. It's some sort of strange, large, four-wheeled instrument.
God, Fox Rider. Fox Rider must be getting sleepy. All right. So,
I'm trying to think of a pun. I'm trying so hard to think of a pun about being a cop, and it's not working.
Honestly, she's not going to rush him out, if only because she knows she owes him a lot. So, I doubt she'll make it to hang out with Ruben.
okay, so one. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Okay, real quick. Yeah, no. Woo! Chat's gone someplace. Chat's gone someplace.
I tried to be PG-13.
Oh, this show is not PG-13.
Yeah, but I tried to be.
You can try all you want. Look around. It ain't staying that way.
I know. I would just like it stated the effort was made.
You did your best.
You did your best, friend.
Then I ruined it.
That wasn't you. All right, so okay, so we've had pegging in chat now, ladies and gentlemen. That's
You're
a
welcome.
thing. He's totally a bottom. Oh my God.
Is that like a
We
special
don't have to
award
talk
you can
about
get?
it. It's
A special
fine. We
award.
really don't have to talk about.
You don't have to explain, Peggy.
We don't have to go there. It's
We want to stay on Twitch, guys.
Yeah, what happens on Twitch stays on Twitch. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But yeah, she will try, but she knows how her life works, I guess, is the best way to put that.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, do you guys have that type of relationship? Are you actually
She tries
dating?
to keep it platonic. In the most flirtatious way, she tries to keep it platonic.
Okay. Odd question.
Yes.
Odd
extremely.
question. No. Why?
Partially because every time she's gotten into a relationship that was romantic, it has ended up with someone having power over her, and currently she's trying to keep her power. And also, the longer she stays out of a relationship, the longer it can seem like she's still, like, hung up on her ex and just, like, completely devastated over this tragedy sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. So she is or is not over the ex, honestly?
Um,
I mean, I know there's a bunch of extra stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah, the complicated thing is I don't know that she was ever actually in love with her ex so much as she just was kind of passed from person to person, if that makes sense. Like, she was kind of passed from her dad to an agent, to her manager, to, like, yeah, she just kind of gets, her life, she was just kind of passed around. So it just kind of made sense when that was offered that she was like, yes, that's the natural conclusion.
Gotcha.
And then he just turned out to be a bigger jerk than the rest of the jerks that she lived her life around.
Yep. So that's the main thing holding her back. But, and okay, the real questions I'm trying to ask is the harder question. So she does not have, like, fears of physical intimacy, anything like that. That's not the hookup. And that hang up, I mean, the hang up is actually more the emotional avoidance.
Yeah,
the hookup hang up.
It's the emotional, like,
All right.
trauma, I guess, is the best way to put it.
All right.
Yeah.
Relatable. Because so all right, so that's what I'm trying to get at. You know, if she, you know, it's just the whole point of, is she just trying to stop herself from developing feelings for this guy, type situation. I mean, I'm assuming that she's not going to flirt with someone that she isn't.
She definitely finds him at least slightly attractive.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
she wouldn't go this far without finding him at least slightly attractive. It's just that it has such a tenuous hold on the control of her life. Like, she doesn't feel super in control yet. And she craves to feel control before she allows anything like that to even cross her mind.
Got it.
Fully.
No, I got it. That's perfect. That's actually exactly where that's kind of the insight I wanted for this situation.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you probably. I mean, he probably doesn't spend the night. That's probably is a hard rule.
Yeah, but he stays fairly late.
Yeah, he stays fairly late. So Jack, what Ruben is kind of, he gets the message from Sonata, and how long are you willing to wait to see if she shows up?
When do I get the text?
What time does he get the text at?
Probably about half an hour to 45 minutes after he sent it.
Okay. I think he's already gone by then. I think he waits around for, like, maybe 10 minutes, looks at his watch, is like, nope, screw it. I was going to have a me night anyways. And so he takes a drag off his cigarette, kicks down his skateboard, and starts looking for spots to tag around the city.
So you come downstairs with the skateboard and the box of paints, and the police tape is still up across the front of the main entrance door. You kind of have to duck under it. There's a different uniform cop sitting out front, but he is sitting there. But as he come downstairs, he kind of looks at you, and he kind of looks at the box of paint, the milk carton box you have full of paints, and he kind of looks at you, and he says, "So, be careful. Streets are kind of crazy right now."
Yeah, I figured. Have a good night, officer. And without any other words towards him, I go on my merry way.
All right. So you basically kind of walk down the street. You riding your skateboard. You're looking for a place to tag. You find a couple of spots that look like they have enough visibility without being too directly open to the street, so you'll get busted. You do a couple of casing pass-bys to make sure there's no lots of traffic around or anything like that at this time of night, and you get to work.
Sweet. The first mural that I make is of it's actually a seed of what happened at the theater. It's Alejandra with her arms outstretched, with vines kind of circling up, and with Ruben stylized as sort of like stylized sort of more kind of Greco-Roman. So he's got like this like grass wreath around his head, and he has his hand outstretched to Amy, who's standing at the opening the theater with her arms outstretched like this, like to her congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of puts in some more detail, puts in the mob that are as like indiscriminate heads that are just kind of like all in a swarm. And then once he's finished, he's going to use his Mythos power to animate it.
Okay.
If possible.
It is definitely possible. Give me 1 second. Let's bring Ruben up here. And then bring this one up here. Where'd it go? Alright, I'll leave it.
Wonderland?
Alright, so Wonderland?
You said where'd it go?
Oh no, I was talking about I thought I had the dice roller saved up here, but I did not. Alright, so let me try it again. There it is. Alright, so you have to use your Mythos ability. Which is font of creativity, and you're going to do animate art, which is the direct power. The weakness tag definitely applies because you're literally trying to do the thing that causes you the most strain, is animating and materializing art. So
the weakness is that it takes a lot of time, and
yes.
I don't think time is a concern for him. He's not trying to rush it. He's trying to make this like a real piece of art.
Okay. No problem. Then we won't apply the weakness tag. So are you just animating it?
I am going to also, while I'm drawing this, I'm going to tag highly creative, talented, and photographic memory, as all three apply to memory. Mm-hmm. He's talented at drawing, and this is sort of a creative outlet for him.
I don't think he's had time to take his medication lately.
He actually has like tossed that somewhere in his room and has forgotten about it.
All right. So that is that. No problem. So go ahead and roll.
Alrighty. So
this is going to be what is this going to be? This is going to be change the game.
Sure.
Yep.
9.
There you go. All right. So basically, you draw it out. When you get to the point where you're really feeling it, you begin animating it, and you get the whole process of it animating. You see everything that you intended it to be. You see the motion in it, but there's something off, just a little off, and you notice that one of the heads that are staring up, one of the heads actually turns around through the animation to face out towards you, and you recognize the face of the young woman.
He drops his spray can and just kind of looks at it.
It just eventually, because the animation kind of goes through a cycle.
Yeah.
So right at the point where you like see it and recognize it and who it is, the cycles back to with her facing away from you. Night, Fox Rider.
What is this? Man, selective memory. Shaken, definitely. But content, because she's been lingering on his mind, and it's been something that was definitely traumatic for him. He considers it sort of a release, like as it goes back through the animation, she looks back again. He forces himself to just stare at her visage, just kind of process how he feels about it. Just very negative. He wishes that he could have saved her. I wish I could have saved her. And I go ahead and I pick up a can of golden sparkly spray paint, and instead of signing it my name, I sign it Apollo in this like kind of like cursive loopy way. And then I reach out in my mind and I go, "What do you think, big guy?
He
Something
says,
good?"
He says, "Yes, it is good. And I think it's nice that she's remembered."
I think so too. Happy accident.
He says, "Not all things are accidents."
Yeah. This is the start. I remember our conversation earlier, and the idea of being worshipped, being praised. If we keep on putting up animated art like this around the city, people are going to talk. And I'm sure there's some way we could rationalize this into some sort of high-tech spray paint, something.
He's like, eventually things will get rationalized. He's like, but you always have to remember, not everyone's going to see it move.
Well, if they don't see it moving, they'll see it as for what it is, and that is pristine art. The best art. I mean, who else tags like this in the city, Apollo? Come on. Have you seen these guys' other art? It's nothing compared to this. He's just kind of like egotistically kind of staring at it proudly.
He says, every artist should love their art. He's like, but no artist should be satisfied.
Yeah. I could do better. We could do better.
He's like, always. And we will. He's like, but this is amazing.
I'm going to take out my cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take a video of it, and then shoot it off to our group text. Be like, haven't done this in a while. Let me know what you think. And then I'll take my skateboard and start skating off to some other discrete locations, but these ones are just quick tags. We don't have to go over all of them. It's just practicing and spreading my art around.
Are you doing everything with Apollo on it?
Yeah, I'm marking all of them with Apollo.
Got it.
Anna goes to open it and immediately has to like make sure none of her siblings are looking at her phone because she knows they're gonna be like, you know, a graffiti artist, and they're just gonna. Can I do that? Can you get me paint? I'm not allowed to buy it. Like.
The hero worship of literally all of your friends just started.
Yeah, no, she's really looking at her phone like this so that none of them can fucking see it because she knows she's gonna get another earful and she's not having it.
That's secretly
And then
why
she's
you got
gonna,
arrested.
and
You were caught
then
tagging.
God forbid she brings up, oh yeah, like, you know, Kevin has a gun. No one can know that Kevin has a gun. No one can know that he has a gun or a
Or that he's a private investigator?
Or that he's a private investigator. Oh my god. No one
If
can
anyone
ever know.
asks, he's my bodyguard.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Which is bad enough.
He knows Sonata too! Like, oh my god, it's awful.
I didn't put Kevin in it because I didn't want to incriminate him with a gun. Something. So I just did the cool part of Ale and Ruben doing some awesome stuff.
Son, were you involved? What? No! What would make you think that?
Well, this graffiti artist around town literally has a mural of him shooting the girls, so...
All right.
About that.
So the first full day comes where you guys are actually all either out of jail, not getting yelled at by anybody,
We did it.
not doing anything like that. All of you were told you may have to come back and give statements again later if there's any court proceedings or as part of the further investigation. But for right now, everything is in the clear. And you guys haven't seen each other in a couple of days. So what are you going to do?
We gotta meet up.
I get up super early, and no one in, I assume, Sonata's business actually wakes up before noon. So the first order of business is to deliver Kevin his truck, Jeep truck.
You just pull up and park it in front of his office.
and knock on his door and say, "Can you give me a ride home?"
Starbucks.
I can do that.
Extra espresso. Good. Do you know what time it is?
6:45.
You guys get a text from Ruben.
At 6:45 in the morning?
At like around 7. And I'm usually a late sleeper as well, but I'm up. And I'm like, Seth tonight? Question mark.
Coffee now, Seth tonight. That's fine. Where are you? Coffee now.
Coffee now.
He actually types coffee now like 4 times.
Yeah, it's like coffee. Like I'm gonna actually like take a picture of Sonata and send it back to Ruben and be like, coffee now.
Oh my god.
Where are you? Coffee. We're getting coffee. It's on Sonata. Coffee.
I'm gonna text back and be like, pick me up at the nightclub.
On our way.
I want coffee.
Text to Alejandra. Coffee.
Yeah, sure.
Coffee.
Yeah.
You're already up, of course, because
Yep.
billion D kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're doling out bowls of cereal and telling people to shut up. Other people are sleeping.
Yep. Trying to get them to not play cartoons at 100% volume.
I only did that twice.
We did it twice. All right, so yeah, the kids basically, your sister comes walking out of the room you guys share. She of course woke up later, and she's kind of like rubbing her eyes, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on? It's early."
I gotta go. So.
Wait, what? You're not gonna leave me here with them?
Mom said I can have a life now, so.
You gotta get that Szechuan sauce, Morty. You gotta get the Szechuan sauce.
Wait, what are you talking about? She said I have to work at the bodega tonight.
Tonight? It's what? 7:30? I'll be back.
This sucks!
Yeah! Welcome to my world. I'll see you later.
You just walk out and leave her. You hand her a bowl and a box of cereal and you walk out. And right as you do that, one of the little kids walks up as you're walking out and grabs her by the shorts. He's like, "I want some cereal." Alright, so you head out.
I would also say Sonata has some nicely wrapped, some nicely packed bags that look like gift bags, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically 2 of them. And she will hand one to Kevin, and it's just a nice gun, like a set to clean his gun, because she is trying really hard.
All right. Kevin's gonna go put it in under his desk so that people can't see it from the office door. And all right. We gotta meet everybody at the nightclub for coffee. Okay. And we're gonna head over to the nightclub.
All right. So you guys drive over to the club. Of course, there's no one out in front of the club at this time. The club literally closed like 4 hours ago.
Right.
I'm out front.
5 hours ago, sorry. Yeah. Ruben's standing out front. Alejandra's kind of coming down from the apartment entrance to the bodega. You guys pull up in the Jeep. I'm assuming everyone just piles in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I taking the burn off of the 45, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Sonata hands the other bag to Ruben,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a set of very top-of-the-line art pencils.
Oh, awesome! Thank you so much, Sonata. This means a lot. Thank you.
Of course. It's a present for not dying in prison.
For not dying in prison.
Lovely. I
mean,
appreciate it.
We were really mostly just in an interrogation room.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, we almost died. No, we almost died.
There were bars and handcuffs.
Yeah, fair enough.
And none of it was fun.
I would like to note that I'm wearing vastly different colored clothing than usual. Instead of the black beanie and just like the dull tones that you usually see Ruben on that he tries to use to just kind of keep under the radar, he's got a yellow beanie on. He's got a studded belt around like kind of ripped up gray denim jeans, and he's got this blue and black t-shirt that just says parkour on it.
Parkour.
And and then a light blue denim jacket that has some patches on it. One of them says coup d'etat, another one says one of a kind, and it's just like a completely different look than you guys have seen before. But he's looking stylish today.
Yeah.
You look very handsome, Ruben.
Why, thank you. I figured it's about time I cared a little bit more about my appearance. And he kind of just like tightens his jacket around and smiles.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Fair enough. Ray, real quick, because I know that the vampire in my head and I had a conversation about the sword. Did he at any point like draw a map for me or give me any sort of Central Europe?
You get
No.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to check.
He says he didn't tell you. He says he knows where it is, and that you need to get to Central Europe.
Okay.
Oh, he does give you one thing. He says, and dress for cold weather.
Fair enough.
And we'll probably need climbing gear.
Climbing gear? How high up it? Well, all right, climbing
The
gear.
Alps are not that tall.
Alps.
I'm starting to wonder what you got up to in your 200s.
He said whole as Alps.
He says,
okay, so I'm going to take us to... I assume Alejandro's joining us at the nightclub too, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like crossing the street.
yes, remember the bodega's right across the street from the nightclub.
Yeah, as
Where-
soon as she hops in the Jeep, I'm going to get us to a Starbucks. I'm trying to like hold the wheel to the right because it's still pulling to the left.
Yeah.
From hitting the other car.
Yep.
You
All right.
You should
One
really get
Tesla.
that fixed. I nearly hit like 4 trees.
Well, I clipped a Tesla at 120, so...
It's a credit to the Jeep that it didn't like go flipping down the road.
Literally.
It is indeed.
I feel like
right.
you should be concerned about your truck.
I'm very concerned about the Jeep.
The Jeep. So not the Jeep.
Both the guys are like, it's a
car.
Jeep.
It's got 4 wheels. It's fine.
Exactly. It's large
Got
and heavy
4
and
wheels
it's got
and
4
an
wheels.
We're gonna flip it
Kevin's
upside.
just like rubbing the
Oh my
dash. It's
God.
just like she doesn't mean it, baby. It's
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sonata. In your head, you hear we flip it over, and it probably says Hot Wheels on bottom.
I love you, Rodney.
So as you guys pull up to the Starbucks, you guys pile out and head inside. You are definitely an interesting group. And as you come inside, you guys go in, you get your order, you go sit down, and you kind of like... I guess there's kind of an awkward silence. I mean, you guys had a pretty huge experience, and you haven't really talked since then.
I suppose I'll be the first one to break the silence, and I go, so, about last week, how's everybody doing?
just
I
another
have
war
good
zone.
news.
Oh,
You have
do
good
tell.
I got my mom's blessing to have a life.
Hey!
First time in 10 years. She said I
So-
could do stuff and have friends.
Congratulations.
So we're not eating the kids.
No. I mean, I might eat my brother if he asks me about dead bodies one more time, but
Why is your brother asking about dead bodies?
he wants to see one, and I let it slip that I may or may not have seen one.
I mean, we can make that happen.
No.
There's
I'm in
actually a
agreement,
museum that
no.
has dead bodies on display. It's a way to show the vascular systems and things like that. I had to do an event at a
Yeah, he would be
museum.
bored to tears by that. He wants to like see someone dead in the street, which is like not. the
Oh
same.
yeah, we can't do that.
Ew.
That's
Yeah,
I mean, there's exhibits. And
kids
stuff,
are
but,
weird.
Well,
Yeah.
they're kids.
All right. So
I'm gonna kind of like I'm gonna write down like on the napkin where I'm just gonna be like, so Euro trip, and like question mark and underline it, and then just kind of like slide it in the middle of the table for everybody. And
Why would we go to Europe? What?
Yeah, what?
there's something I gotta get out there.
Like what kind of something? Like the Holy Grail? Or
Kind
like-
of.
You have the Holy Grail?
It's not a grail. It's a sword.
You have the holy sword?
Your vampire has a holy sword? Isn't
It's a
that like
holy
not
sword,
allowed?
right?
it's holy to me.
Well, yeah, but you're like you've got the yes.
You know, I
Why?
have both parts. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah. What they don't. It's harder to explain to them. It's
Kevin, why?
because it should help keep us from getting into situations like last week.
I talked to Seth, and he seemed pretty adamant we're never going to be in a situation like that again. I mean, he seemed very bummed out about the whole thing. He said no more blind tasks, no more.
But can Seth keep that from happening? Okay, but Seth won't give us any of those jobs. That doesn't mean that they won't just happen upon us.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen upon us. We've been all keeping a pretty low profile, though, right? Sonata, you've been.
Okay.
I avoid as much as possible unless I'm going on a hunt with Kevin.
Kevin like pops onto YouTube real quick and types in "man struck by lightning caught on security camera" and then just like sets it down and lets it play and be like, "Do you think that he meant to get struck by lightning?"
Damn. And I'm gonna like say to Apollo in my mind, your dad got that guy.
It's
That's
specifically
a knife and a half.
it's
Oh
the
my
one where like
God.
the dude like gets struck by lightning and like goes down and then like he's fine, but as soon as he gets up and like takes 5 steps, he gets struck again. And he
Oh my god!
Oh,
it's a real video. The dude gets hit like 3 or 4
Oh,
times.
it's a repeat too.
Yeah. He's just,
What did he do? Apollo, what did he do?
He's
I mean,
like,
that's excessive.
you know, when this started, I was gonna say that, you know, lightning just kind of happens sometimes, but nope.
No, that was deliberate.
Someone was
Dad, it
pissed
was
at him. I don't know if it was my
was
dad, but someone was
deliberate.
pissed at him. Could have been Thor, could have been Perun. Somebody was pissed.
Maybe he pissed off all of them in a line.
That is
Okay.
another possibility.
I get your point. These things happen,
Right.
and some extra protection could definitely help.
That's my right. I just want a little bit of. We all know what I did in the military, and part of my job dealt with the security of me and mine. You guys are part of me and mine, and I want to make sure we're safe. If
Yeah.
some crazy party god and their crazy depression god arch nemesis decide to go to town in Zombieland again, I want to make sure that less people end up the way that they did and that we can handle the situation and protect ourselves. That's my biggest concern. Because I don't
Well-
want to have to tase somebody like Amy again, and I certainly don't want to have to put a couple in innocent folks.
You look around before you say that.
I'm like,
How exactly is getting a
Kevin.
holy sword gonna like?
look, I'm not sure exactly how all of Fang's things work, but he says that it'll help, and given the fact that he's kind of also an archangel, I kind of believe
right,
him.
Sonata didn't see what... A lot happened that you didn't.
Apparently.
We'll talk about it later, not in a Starbucks.
Yeah, we don't wanna...
Not that we did anything. This is a really intense LARP that we have going on. Yeah, really, really killer. Right,
How many
everyone?
music videos am I gonna have to make?
Oh, no, it's covered. We got it.
Yeah, it's fine.
We got this side. We're good.
Okay. Oh, I
Oh.
did write the song about the blood though, so
Excellent. We have to do a music video.
I got the forgery for you.
Awesome.
Can you not
Just
use
in the middle
that
of
word?
Starbucks.
Can you not use that word?
I
Sorry.
think we need a code.
I got the document
Contract?
for you.
There we go.
And I'm gonna pull out my book and I'm gonna just like kind of pull it from the page and just be like, there you go.
Excellent. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna put it down on the table, and I'm just gonna take a picture of it with my phone and send it off to my dad.
Oh my god.
And it's just gonna
Bong
say, "Found
Druid
it."
Mammoth Weed Mountain. Thank you for the follow. I just wanted to say your name out loud.
Sick name, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
So anyway, on Foregatherist, if you're still around, thank you for the follow as well. So you guys are sitting there, and you take the picture of the thing, you send it to your dad. A few moments go by, and you get a response back, and the response basically says, "Your ass is covered for now. Shit. Damn it. Shit. I hate this thing. All right."
I'll just text back, "Love you too, Dad.
Oh my god.
Donuts are on me."
Donuts are on me. And he says,
That's such a good
so the big thing for he's and the text comes back and says the big issue is as long as this holds up, you at least have a reason to have been there. He says they are you know that ballistics will come back soon. And they're going to make requests.
Oh no.
Yep. That's why I changed the barrel in the Glock.
Don't text that shit.
No.
to me.
No,
That's
because
Chris.
that-
Okay.
That's Chris. Or it's like, that's why I changed the barrel in in the 45.
All right. So he says, and you all you do, but I'm assuming all you send back is yup.
Yep.
He's like, and all you get is one word back. He says good.
The text back is like, just let me know when they need it, and he'll know what I mean.
Yeah. And so after that, you guys are sitting there and you have the contract. You have a basic idea that things are getting back to normal-ish. You all are sitting there kind of like chatting, kind of just actually starting to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're sitting there and you're starting to relax, you see a man walk into the Starbucks. He looks very disheveled. He looks like he's wearing a pretty nice suit, but looks like it's there's holes in it. There's stains on the chest, and everything like that. And he comes walking into the suit, walking into the Starbucks, and he kind of walks up to you guys directly. And he looks, you guys are not really paying attention to him, even though he kind of looks like a kind of like a little bit of a wreck because you're like talking to each other. And as he walks up and he looks down at you guys, and he says, "Where's Amy?"
Oh my god.
And when you turn to look at him, the suit has bullet holes in it. His skin is a pallid gray color. And his eyes are kind of like, you know, they're kind of like a little bit of a wreck because you're like talking to each other. And as he walks up and he looks down at you guys, and he says, "Where's Amy?" Oh my god. he has a very visible scar across his forehead that looks like it was very improperly stitched. One of his eyes is green, the other is blue. His one thing you notice is he's kind of like disproportionate, and it looks like his left arm is larger and more muscular than his right arm because it's like barely being contained in the suit.
Do we recognize anything about this?
This is definitely
Frankenstein.
Oh, he's an awakened. Yeah, definitely.
Frankenstein?
I was thinking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
And he kind of looks at you all and he's like, "Where's my wife?"
She got into a little bit of trouble, and she is currently in very good hands. She is being well taken care of by some lovely officers, being watched after by a personal friend of mine, and I was assured that she will go into the best possible medical facility that can be found. In fact, I have been told that she is going to be well monitored and helped intensely, as there was a little bit of a situation.
You kind of you see his hands kind of clench into fists, and as you're watching him clench, you can start to hear the tendons in his hands literally creak, and his knuckles go completely fucking white, like all the blood rushes out of his hands, and and he's sitting there and he's like, "Take me to Amy now."
Yeah, we'll
Absolutely, sir.
we'll take you to Amy.
Absolutely, yep.
I'm gonna shoot like a quick text underneath the table to Kevin and just
Real
be
quick,
like,
before you see the text, Kevin, in your head, you hear him say, "That's a legitimate threat." Sonata, in your head,
Run.
no, Radney says, "Just let me handle it." Alejandra, in your head, you hear, "I haven't seen one of those in forever."
What does that mean?
Ruben, in your head, you hear, "A flesh golem."
A what?
Flash Golem.
And he sits there and he says, and Alejandra, in your head, you hear you hear her say, "Nothing at all can stop him. He just comes back. Give him whatever he wants. Maybe he'll go away."
Okay.
I shoot the text to Kevin and I'm like, we take him to Seth. That's like the thing I send to him. That's my understanding of what we need to do in this situation.
Yep.
And then I look up at the flesh golem and I'm like, we haven't properly met. I'm Ruben. This is Sonata. This is Kevin. This is Ale. We're all friends at Amy's.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's going on with you there, buddy?
What's his name again?
Huh?
What's his name again?
Sean?
Amy's.
Honestly,
Sean. I do believe
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
Sean.
remember, but I remember Amy gave us the name.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah,
Sean.
it's Sean.
Sean, buddy. Tell you what. We're gonna take you to Amy right now. Think you could help me pull something on my truck so that it stops pulling to the left real quick? We'll get there a lot faster that way.
He kind of looks at you. He turns his head and looks at you. That's when you notice that his jaw doesn't look the right size for his face. It looks like his jaw is actually a little bit large.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of has trouble forming words. And he says, oh, thank you very much for the follow, Cryptwalker76. He says, so I'll help you fix this.
Yeah.
And you'll take me to Amy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he says, fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna go out to the truck. Or out to the Jeep. I'm gonna point where it got pushed in from the Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna grab a hold of it and be like, okay, we're gonna just pull it so it's even, and then I'm gonna kind of gesture to everybody who's just like, yeah. So we're gonna pull on this, and we're gonna.
I'm just downing my coffee, just
Yeah, I'm calling
staring at Sean.
I have to go to the little girl's room. I will be right back.
So
Okay.
he goes and he reaches in and he grabs the inside rim of the tire, and he puts his hand like on the frickin' fender, and he starts pulling, and his arm just goes into the fender, all the way up to get to the actual physical frame of the car. So he crushes the fender in, and then you hear wrenching, and he at least somewhat straightens the bent rim on the Jeep.
That's great, bud. That's amazing.
I'm gonna run inside and call Seth.
I'm already on it.
Oh God.
I'm going with you though, because
Yeah.
I don't want Raidney in this situation, and honestly, I don't want me in this situation.
I'm just standing watching Kevin and Sean fix this, and as Sean and I maybe make eye contact once, I just give him a thumbs up and like a forced smile.
And his facial expression the whole time that he's putting out all this effort never changes.
Sean, can I get you a cup of coffee while we're waiting? While we wait for everybody to get ready?
He kind of looks at you and he says, I don't need coffee. You said we're going to Amy.
Yeah. No, we are. We're waiting on everybody now.
And he kind of like,
I
you
didn't
can
expect that
see
to go so fast.
the jaw clench, and he said,
Oh
you
my
didn't
God.
say anything about waiting.
Oh my fucking god.
That's true. I didn't. I'll tell you what. Let them know that we're gonna go. Okay, you and me, buddy. Sound good? I can. You know what? I can do it while we're in the car. I'm gonna call Ruben real quick.
He goes to strike. He opens the passenger door to the Jeep while you're going to call Ruben, and he like does this whole thing where he tries to step into the Jeep, and he can't like get his shoulders
moment.
and neck into the Jeep, and he tries to turn around and just put his butt into the Jeep and like try and force his way in, and he can't get himself in that way, and he kind of like he's you can see he's starting to breathe heavy. He's starting to get upset.
There's a back thing, Ruben. He's insisting that I go right now. I've got to go, or he's going to probably throw my car. Call my dad. When we found the dude. And,
Call that right now.
Yeah, call my dad and make sure they get a hold of Seth. I'm just taking him straight to the precinct, and I'm just gonna let him out. Okay? Okay, fine. Cool. No, and then I'm gonna
he goes over and he starts grabbing hold of the edge of the frame of the door for the passenger side, and he just goes crinkle, 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 and he basically bends it back and creates a T-top for you. And then he gets in and sits down, and his head's like about that much higher than the edge of the roof of the Jeep.
Sean, you ever see Harry and the Hendersons?
He's
It's a
like,
great movie. I highly recommend it. And I'm just gonna hop in the car. I imagine that we're kind of leaning his way.
yeah.
And I'm just gonna kind of start the car, and I'm gonna start driving towards the.
And the car's kind of leaning a little bit to the right. As you get into the driver's seat, he kind of looks over at you and he says, "My name is Adam."
Adam? Okay. Good to meet you, Adam.
And he just turns and he looks straight ahead and he's like, to Amy.
Yep. On it. I'm gonna kind of like cock my head to the side, like, you ever hear of this dude? You know who this is? Friend of yours?
And he says, the Promethean.
That sounds really bad, and you're gonna have to explain that to me later.
Really bad.
I'm just doing what he tells us to do, right?
Like, yes, that's what for now.
Okay, cool.
He says, he is the first.
Oh, shit. So this dude's your grandpa?
No, he has really nothing to do with me. He is the first made. The first one that was invested. He's...
Oh, so not... Yeah, okay. So not Adam that we know.
No.
Prototype. Great.
He's... If it's true, he was originally made of clay. But he tried to become flesh.
Oh, shit. Alright.
He's the rough draft.
He's the rough draft. Got it.
Let me tell you, rough draft didn't go well.
Yeah.
Needed edits.
So I'm gonna start driving him towards the precinct because even Kame in the back of my head is just like, do what he says for now.
It's like everything he has displayed is minor.
Cool. Adam, if it's okay with you, just because I'm in a little bit of trouble with the cops already, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to drop you off just outside of the camera range, and then I'm going to go.
It's like...
But I'll tell you where she is. I know exactly what building she's in, okay?
And he says, and he kind of looks at you and looks at you strangely, and he says, "You're taking me to Amy."
Yes.
And he kind of looks at you again and looks around. He's like, "Where is Amy?"
That way.
And he stops, and he you can tell he concentrates really hard. Where is she being held?
It should be the precinct, yes.
And
he hasn't been moved yet. They would have told me.
This is... The police have her.
Yeah, she tried to grab a cop's gun and shoot a cop. They arrest you for that, Adam.
His face gets really contorted for a minute.
Oh my fucking god.
And he goes, "Amy wouldn't do that."
Well, she looked really desperate when she tried. I shot the lady trying to kill her.
He puts his hands on the dashboard and his fingers just go right into the dashboard.
Oh, God, come on.
And he's like... He says... He turns his head and you can see he's like... Almost like he's fighting something. And he says... "We can't go to the police."
Okay, what do you want me to do then?
He says, "You will come up with a plan to get Amy. And then Amy and I will leave."
I don't know how to.
I gotta do that. I gotta do that before we get there.
It's like, and you just see him. He just raises his right foot, and he slams his foot through the floor panel of the Jeep, and it goes into the asphalt. And you are slammed against the steering wheel as the Jeep comes to a dead stop.
You're gonna need a new car.
Yeah, that's irreparable damage there. That's...
Oh no, I could fix that. And he says, "The others are smart."
Yeah, we're a real smart bunch.
Then we'll go get them.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And I think that is a good place to stop for the evening.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I choose life.
Listen, Ellie and Sonata have plans to go to the spa. We can't go to the spa.
Yeah, we have
so
plans.
So like, I have already bought like top of the line packages. This is non-refundable. I'm sorry. We have prior engagements. We both have to go.
The text message in our group text is just run. Run now. Run.
Running, flying. Actually, top speed.
All right, so
Switzerland, you said. Yes, the Swiss Alps?
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
there we go. Swiss Alps it is, ladies and gentlemen. Always go to the Swiss Alps when you can go to any Alps.
Yeah, we'll just swim to Europe at this rate. Like,
Swim to Europe.
like
I don't know what you're talking about. I've got a bird lady who also does, like, water things, so, like, I'm fine.
Who also does water things. I'm perfectly fine. I can just go into the ocean and stay there. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
So, thank you guys very much for showing up tonight. I really appreciate it. After the last week and not being able to game for a bit, I really needed the blow off for this one. I love my story heavy games, and I have been wanting to introduce the Promethean for a little bit. I got many versions of him, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Huh?
what does that mean?
I've got many
It means
versions
that
of
you're not
him.
going to be the only one that cries on his stream.
We're
all gonna
good.
leave.
It's about time someone else cried because I also cried last night.
You
So-
did.
Oh,
You
no.
did. It was very, very, very mean of me. I made you cry. I'm a horrible person. But anyway, let's go ahead and do some quick things real fast. First off, let's go ahead and do the thank yous. First off, I want to thank Jack for coming out and being Ruben for us and helping us with his transition from passive to more active Ruben. It's going to be interesting to see as Apollo continues to try and build up his confidence how Ruben translates that. It's going to be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
that should be some interesting changes in the future there.
Oh, for sure.
And so, yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be big on the agenda going forward. Thank you, Michaela, for coming out and being Sonata and Radney. Radney, of course, is, not going to like this situation at all. After everything that just went down, now you're going to be walking around with a giant monster. And, no.
Misa no se nos aguanta.
Talking about ruffling some feathers, man.
Oh, boy. And
I was
Lisa no
literally
se nos
about to
aguanta.
say, Raiden was like, we just barely got out of the last one. You said that I was going to get to drive when things get dangerous.
Just let me take care of him. How?
Well,
River Song moment of fight.
All
how?
right, guys, who's going to be the team's monster fucker? Someone's got to do it.
I'm thinking.
I tried to take him to the team's monster fucker. He said no cops.
And
Uncle
Milagros,
Circus said no cops.
Milagros, thank you for being Alejandra as she gets some independence from her overbearing family. But we'll see how long that lasts when antics keep going worse.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, it's not going to be like this forever.
And Chris, thank you very much for allowing Kame to start throwing in some traveling complications. It should be interesting. It should be interesting to see how everything goes down with that. And
Why is your sword in the Alps?
that's going to be another long story. When is UST is going live on next
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday. Got it, Monday and Tuesday. So that's going to be the next two shows for UST. And Monday is going to be Jack running. Is it Ruins of Carpoy? Remnants of Carpoy. Remnants of Carpoy, which is Jack's homebrew, which is set in a post-apocalyptic setting. I was supposed to play in it, but things didn't work out, and I really I'm sad now. But I will. But anyway, so yes. So check out UST on Monday and Tuesday. Check out Milagros as she destroys half of her desk. And check us out here at our Linktree, where you can find all of our shows. We have Kingdoms of Mist, which is our homebrew D&D 5e on Wednesdays. We have City of Mist, Ethos and Mythos, which is a City of Mist campaign, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. And we do that every Thursday night. We are actually actively seeking players for a Vampire the Masquerade... Well, it's not Vampire the Masquerade. A World of Darkness open world game. We're going to be doing that with Sphinx... and I think, Milagros, you said you were interested, but I don't know if you have the time, but let me know. We're going to be doing it on Tuesday nights. So, I know. But we're going to be doing it on Tuesday nights because it's the only night... It was Sphinx's idea, and it's the only night he has open during the week. So, you know. So, we're doing it on Tuesday nights. I'm running it, but Sphinx is going to play in it. And we're looking at recruiting some more people. I think my friend Jonathan might be in.
I think I'm in... For my job for like duty shifts that are regular, I think I'm in the Sunday rotation, so I might have Tuesday nights free too.
But we're going to be playing the 20th anniversary edition, which means it's going to be the old world stuff, which is the World of Darkness before they ended the old storyline and started the new one for the new books. So, because that's what I'm more familiar with, and it has all the traditional clans and all the traditional archetypes that were built out, and all the new stuff they launched is, a lot more complicated. And so, but we're going to be using those rules in that system, and well, I don't want to be free of you, otherwise, I would be. But all that being said, check us out here, and of course, if you want to support any of us, go to our links, give us follows. Carl Moon Elkins. I must be a follower from Facebook. Go to our likes, go to our links, give us follows. The best thing you can do for any creator is follow their work. That's the biggest way you can tell us that what we're doing means something. If you actually follow the work and follow what we do, and that's more than enough. But if you want to support us in any other ways, you can always subscribe to our channel, subscribe here, or subscribe in UST. That just helps us support our shows, paying our costs, and everything like that. And if we can get to that point, we would love to be able to pay these wonderful people to come play with us so we can actually tell them, yes, you have to be here. Because it's now your job, at least part-time.
And we can tell our day jobs to bugger off.
I'll never be able to do that.
No, I meant us.
Oh, okay.
You're screwed.
Yeah, I'm screwed. I did that whole stupid thing. I became like some kind of professional type person, and now I'm screwed. I never get to quit my job.
Yeah.
I am getting a nice house with a pool, though.
There.
My house has a pool too. I don't own it though.
I will be visiting both of you because I have no pool. I live in a dorm. So
I'm in a swamp.
Well,
I got gators.
You got gators.
I'll deal with gators if it means I get to swim in a pool.
I'll punch a gator.
I'll punch a gator. That's how you lose a hand.
Nah, you just wait until their mouth is closed and just.
Too much experience with that, Michaela. Huh?
I said don't punch. I was like, don't punch a shark though. Their mouths are always.
Well, that's the problem. She also has sharks.
Oh, yeah.
They're just a little bit farther away.
I actually have some fun stories about sharks that I should tell you someday.
Okay, we'll do that off the show so you can tell us, and then we'll probably talk about it on the show later.
Yeah.
So, but also remember that our Friday night regular show, which is every 2 weeks, which was the Lab Experiments in Gaming, is actually creating their own stream. They're going indie finally. They're not going to be on our Friday night show, which means that we might be able to do some one-offs on Friday nights. Now, I know you guys record the UST show on Friday nights, so you guys probably won't be able to make it very often. But we can go. We might be doing some one-offs, so keep an eye out for that. And other than that, let's go ahead and do this drawing, folks.
Yay!
So we got everyone who's eligible. Crypt, it did add you in, so you're eligible as well. Let's go ahead and make the roll. Good, I'm not on there. Ba-doop.
That would be funny though.
That would
Oh,
be funny.
guess
Michaela!
guess who won?
Did I really?
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
And I already have all your information, so I don't need to get it from you. So what?
Congrats.
Now I will let you know that I checked this, and it is showing that it is not in stock right now, but you do get the digital copies when you buy the hard copies. So you'll have the PDFs, and I'm going to pre-order it for you. So when it comes in stock, it will be delivered.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you so much.
so you'll get the PDFs first, and I think, let me check something real quick, because I think you also get a free copy of what I'm using on Roll20. I think you get a free copy of the Roll20 side of it too.
Ooh.
So let me double check and make sure of that, because it is a really nice set for starting out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so good. I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, it says a booklet for players, a booklet for the MC. It's gorgeous, by the way. 5 beautifully illustrated, pre-generated character folios, 20 tracking cards, which are the same status cards we use online, but they're the physical ones. A crew card for the crew tracking stuff, 2 custom City of Mist dice, and 7 location maps, because they actually use maps, and 41 illustrated character tokens.
I get Click Class Shiny Math Gems.
You get Click Class Shiny Math Gems. And then you also get to, you get to download the PDF.
Click Class Shiny Math Gems.
So fun.
Oh yeah, that's it. You don't get the Roll20 stuff. That's add-on. So, but
fair.
that's what you get for all that. And I'm gonna add that to the cart now, and I'll take care of the shipping and everything in a minute.
Our very own dice goblin over here.
Yes, well, I literally have 4 or 5 Crown Royal bags in this house, stuffed full of dice. Massive amounts of dice live in this house.
I sat down with my bowl of D6 one day to roll up a character that I was supposed to play for a one-shot.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said, "What are you eating?" And I went, "The forbidden candy." And he went, I was like, "It's dice."
It's dice. Oh, I think she must have dropped. I had dropped off. I was going to raid someone's channel, but they seem to have dropped. Let's check out. Oh, the Adventure Archive is up and running, and they look like they're playing D&D tonight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to raid another channel. For those of you who are not familiar with Twitch, this is a way that we help out other members of our community. And we always choose streams that are about the same size as ours and everything like that. What we would like you to do is when you go into the chat, say hi, tell them Dinner and a Game sent you, tell them you appreciate the show, and if you can, give them a follow, because that helps them get their word out about their show and helps them get everything situated so they can get more views on their show as well. So do what you can for them. At Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table. Tonight, we're going to take that table and we're going to go join the Adventure Archive for their game show tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you to my incredible crew. We will see you in 1 week for Ethos and Mythos, a City of Mist campaign. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
And clear.